All right, everyone, welcome. Today, we are going to dig into the approved 2026 budget for the Plainfield Community Consolidated School District 202. We're going to follow the money, break down this whole financial plan, and really see what it means for our community's schools.
Okay, let's just jump right in with the single biggest number you need to see. Over $454 million. That's the total planned spending for the fiscal year. I mean, it's a huge figure, and it represents every single dollar the district plans to invest.
You see a number that big, and it just naturally makes you wonder, right? How does a school district even manage a budget of this size? Where does all that cash come from, and where does it all go? And really, what does it all say about what the district truly cares about? Let's follow the money and find out.
First things first, to understand any budget, you have to know where the money is coming from. So let's take a look at the district's income streams.
And wow, take a look at this. The vast majority of the district's operating cash, over half, more than 54%, it's generated right here in the community through property taxes. This is really the financial bedrock of the entire school system.
Now, what's really interesting here is that we can put some hard numbers on those percentages. I mean, after that massive $221 million piece from property taxes, you can see the next biggest chunk, over $152 million, comes from state funding. Then you have a much smaller but still important slice coming from federal sources and other local stuff like fees. Okay, so we've seen the in column. Let's flip the coin and look at the out column. Let's see how this all comes together into the district's actual spending plan for the year.
And this chart, wow, it just says it all, doesn't it? Look at that. Almost 98% of all operating spending is funneled directly into just two areas: classroom instruction, which takes the lion's share at nearly 61%, and all the essential support services that make learning happen. It shows a clear, overwhelming focus on the student experience.
So what's actually driving all this spending? Well, it's really all about essential investments in people. You've got salary increases based on contracts that are tied to the Consumer Price Index just to keep pace with inflation. Then you have new teacher contracts and, of course, rising healthcare costs. And on top of that, it's about investing in the tools and the buildings, with almost $16 million set for capital improvements and over $12 million for technology.
Now we get to the bottom line of the budget summary. And what we're about to see really reveals the most important part of this year's whole financial story. It might look a little surprising at first, but believe me, there's a very clear plan here. Okay, so the final budget actually projects a deficit of just over $17 million. But hold on, this isn't an accident or a sign of trouble. The district is making it very clear. This is a planned, strategic deficit. It's designed to hit some very specific goals. In other words, it's an investment.
And you don't just have to take my word for it. The district itself calls this a strategic FY26 deficit to achieve key initiatives. That one sentence completely reframes the whole conversation. This isn't a loss, it's a calculated move to use resources for a bigger purpose.
So what does the strategic investment actually buy us? Two huge things. First, it makes sure the district can offer market value pay for all its employees, which, is absolutely key for attracting and keeping the best people. And second, it funds the move to an 8-period day, which is all about creating more learning opportunities for students. So when you boil it all down, what's happening here is the district is making a conscious choice to dip into its savings, its fund balance, to make some major long-term improvements. It's spending money it already has in the bank to invest directly in its people and in its educational programs. And all of this leaves us with a really powerful, forward-looking question. This budget, it's so much more than a spreadsheet for 1 year. It's a real statement about priorities. It's a plan that's betting on its teachers and on expanding what's possible for students. The real story here will be told in the years ahead, as we all see how this investment really shapes the future for our students.